Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes on the Daybreak Show, and we welcome in studio Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury for our Sheriff Sit-Down, presented by our great friends at Our Community Credit Union. Hey, Casey, how are you doing?
Good morning.
It's good to see you here again, and thought we would spend today, as the weather is very nice and will continue to get nice, about boating
Yes.
safety. We didn't get a chance too much to talk about it so far this year, and now with COVID, there's a whole host of other things you should think about. So let's start from the very first thing you're going to do is you get ready to go out on the boats. Make sure your trailer is all locked up and attached properly to the truck. And then when you get to the boat ramp, social distancing and all that. So let's start there and go through the whole thing.
Yeah, well, on the takeoff, I think probably people have had their trailers out a little bit this year, but oftentimes what we're seeing is no taillights or one taillight. And especially as you get towards evening hours or something, you're on your way home, it's great to have both those behind there. And when we get out to the ramps, I think the thing that we're really pushing hard for in the Sheriff's Office this year, and we do every year, but this year we've done a really strong emphasis on a number of our lakes for our safety equipment. And now with the weather going to bump up for a week straight, we'll see a lot more people out on the water, and our folks are going to make those contacts for safety equipment on the water. And we've been very stringent this year on that. We've really worked hard over the last couple of years to educate people and things and people on the lakes. And we've hit it hard at the beginning of this year. And I'd have to ask Sergeant Severance the number of citations written, but we've made some contacts on that, and it's paying off. But we still haven't hit that long streak of warm weather, periodically a couple days. So this week is almost like the first of our summer, I think.
Sure. So have you had a chance, I know you mentioned Officer Severance there and Deputy Severance, and if he has noticed more folks from out of town on our waterways, or is it still kind of the locals?
Gosh, I'm just guessing, Jeff, that we're having a lot more on the water because in the last few weeks or the last couple of months since this COVID issue has been in the public, I can't tell you the number of people that when we're out during the day have contacted us and told us that, wow, we love Mason County. We're moving down here. We're moving into our summer home. So I think we're seeing a lot more residents stay down here a lot longer, getting out of the greater Seattle area and the big cities. And a lot of people seem to be telling us, at least a number of them that Chief Sperling and I have been out on the town, people telling us that they're more permanently staying down here. They like the environment, the less traffic, and staying away.
Lots of cars then, both on the North and South Shore roads.
Yeah, there's another issue that both those roads, as you've been out there, both of them are very curvy roads. They have not been a lot of improvements to them in years. There's nowhere to move to the right because it goes into the water and the banks on the left. So they're very curvy, and if you notice on the South Shore especially, there's been those speed monitoring devices. Yeah. And because over the years people have to park right on the edge of that road, and some of those houses and roof of the houses is right on the edge of the road too, and the residents out there have really wanted that traffic controlled. And as we see increased people, a lot more traffic, the State Patrol and our office has worked real hard out there to control that. And I know it's been tough for the patrol just to get people to slow down. And when you're pulling a trailer and you've got the state park out there, the Tawana State Park, and people moving back and forth, we really ask that people watch their speed on both the North and the South Shore.
When you get onto the actual water, you got to make sure you have life vests for all folks that are on the boats. And I know the North Mason Regional Fire Authority has, over the years, had some great opportunities for folks to come and grab a life jacket if they forgot it next to those pieces of water. And that's got to be a great program for those folks, because you may drive a half hour and you go, well, I'm not driving back, we're just going to risk it. You don't want to risk it.
I tell you something, Jeff, I don't anymore. I dove on the rescue dive team for Thurston County for many, many, many years, and been on the river searching for people that drown, in the lakes, out in the salt water. The one thing that I see constantly that I hope that people really watch, especially with smaller children, is I should have brought one in for you. Maybe Trev can bring one in, we'll show you. Life vests, especially, there's a lot of them for smaller children that have a crotch strap on them.
Yeah.
And it goes underneath and it locks them in. So if a person gets knocked unconscious or something, don't slide out the bottom of that life jacket and not wearing them properly, too loose, you don't have to tighten down to, where you can't breathe in them, but if you tighten them down enough, so where the likelihood of you coming out, but when people become unconscious, especially, or you have a little child in there, they're very agile, they're very limber compared to what we are. And they can slide out through the bottom of those. And I've seen some of these things that are very concerning when I see other places where kids are in the boat without proper life vest of the right size. And I especially think that having those crotch straps on those are especially important for small children.
Yeah, snug, kind of like wearing a bike helmet.
Yeah, so maybe we get Sergeant Severance on here and talk a little bit and bring a couple of those in and show you what the differences are. But especially with kids, one of the rules that we had, and it seemed odd for a lot of people, is we had a rule that if we were in 10 feet of a body of water on the dive team and we weren't in dive gear, that you'd be in a life jacket. And oftentimes you'll see the dive teams out there with their dry suits on and you're still in your life jacket, because you can be out in a river and it can be very, very shallow in a spot and go out there just a little ways and have a quick drop, or the rapids can be very smooth and you just drop a little ways, there's a quick rapid, and then you're back into trouble again. And the life jackets work tremendously well in most circumstances.
Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury during the Sheriff Sit Down, presented by our great friends at Our Community Credit Union. Good advice as the warm weather is finally upon us.
Yes.
And so we'll see a lot more folks out on the waterways. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.